Hey everybody, have you ever had a house that's sinking? Well, that's what today's video is a little bit about. We have been talking about this project, the collab between us and Poolsbudger & Clarkson for about, I think 3 years now. So Joel over there, most amazing pool designer I've ever met, has been talking about this project for a long time. We do have a sinking problem, and the sinking problem is not the house. The house was engineered and designed to withstand the problem that happens out on this island. We're in Jacksonville, Florida. Really interesting island out here that actually has a problem where the entire land sinks over time. But the house has been engineered to handle it, but the yard not so much. And so it's interesting, it's been 20 years. And so on this project, the entire thing has sunk. All the grass, the driveway, everything has sunk over the years. And by the home, it's sunk easily a foot or 2 feet in certain areas around the house. And so we had to come in and remedy that. Everything had to come out in order to come in and actually lift this property up. We were out here with at least 6, maybe 7 dump trucks to get it back in order. And what's been fun about that is it's created a little bit of topography in the front yard. You have little elevation changes now and in the backyard. And so the landscaping's not just like a typical home where it's flat everywhere and you have a bunch of plants in front of it. There's actually a little bit of rolling hills in the property. It's very minute, but pretty fun. I hope you enjoy it. We're gonna do a walk on this entire project. And it's just a good rehab. So you get to see a home that we had to come in and lift the entire elevation, do compaction, and then it gave us the opportunity to kind of get a different look at the front yard and give it an updated look to this beautiful home. I'm gonna start with the front yard. The plant selection I love. This is not mine, this is Jeff Mlier's. He went ahead and designed this project, turned out amazing. There's gonna be flowers, but mostly foliage and textures. So you don't even have to have flowers for this landscape to work. Podocarpuses that are flanking, pineapple guavas that are actually the edible types of guavas. They don't typically get that way because most often maintenance guys are trimming them too often as a bush, as your second layer. Then you have your sunshine ligustrum, a nice yellow foliage, doesn't even produce like a flower that's known for. And then down to the agapanthus, or better known as lily of the Nile, purple flowers, bluish purple flowers in the springtime, and then down to the native kunti palms right here in the front. And so this effect between different textures and colors just with the foliage will look good all year long, right? So you got that curb appeal that will look good all year long and doesn't need a ton of attention. Like I said earlier, we had to come in with the soil, lift it. Another kind of interesting thing that Jeff did here, you see these little pockets of gravel? They may look a little interesting. What are those? Well, one of the things we did is he had his gutters reassessed and redone to get the water away from the home, because that was another problem why everything is sinking out here. So we're able to get those gutters tied in and run out to the driveway so that the water can get to the driveway pretty quickly and away from the home. This is one of those things we were attempting to try to keep the holly trees, and the homeowners liked them a lot. So actually we purchased brand new ones. We just could not work around them. And as you can see, I'll come stand over here. This is actually structural where I'm standing right here, and you may not be able to see it in the video, but it's easily 18 inches to 2 feet lower than back behind me where the house is. And this was the high point before we started this project, where everything sunk down even around this. And that's how much lifting we had to do. And if you can imagine, that much soil on top of a tree is gonna kill it very quickly. So we've got a nice variegated flax lily. This really pops nicely because Jeff has a couple different layers of green, the podocarpus in the back, the gardenia, and then these guys. And then he alternates it with your lily of the Nile, agapanthus. We've got the sunshine ligustrum. And then weirdly enough, you see right behind it, the regular ligustrum. And people are gonna be like, those aren't the same plant. They are. This is actually just a green variety and this is a yellow variety. There are 2 totally different plants, but they're in the same family. One of the coolest things, additions that we were able to do in the front yard is the loquat. I absolutely love this tree. I think the husband liked it a lot too. This is a fruiting tree. It's gonna produce little fruits. We also had to do a little sod extension, as you can see here. You have the ground, and then from here all the way up there, that's what I'm saying, there's about 2 foot of elevation change. And so by lifting that up, for it to look as natural as possible, we had to actually bring that soil a little further out. Otherwise, the grass would come and just be a steep, weird transition. So the crew did a great job on this one. I think it looks really nice. All right, let's switch to the backyard. This is where I was telling you, we had a little collaboration with my favorite pool company in town, Poolsbudger & Clarkson. There's just been a long relationship with my business partners, Doug and Mark, that have been working together for a very long time. It's always fun working with them on it. It's been a pretty difficult project because what they had to do in the pool like is way more difficult than what we had to with the engineering and the feats they had to go through, resurfacing and so on and so forth. One of the things that we did is worked hand in hand with them. So we realized we were able to come in, do all this lifting and do some of the prep work on the pavers for them. And that's why like we're able to kind of schedule and do these things together, and that way it's done right, you know what I mean? So Pools by Jar & Clarkson started this design process and we were like the icing on the top. So really cool walkway that brings you right to the back. Really nice material they used for the actual pool decking. But even this right here, guys, so same thing. We had a couple holly trees out back here. We had to do all brand new, right? So we had to bring in 2 new ones to replace the existing that were here, adding the 3. Lots of thought goes into these things to where when the homeowner's inside, they don't want to block their view of the river. They don't want to block the neighbor's view, but yet when they're in their pools, not have to look at each other, right? And so it's not that you don't like somebody, it's just you don't want to have to be like eyeball to eyeball when you're in your swimsuit. So a lot of thought went in with Jeff on how to create this privacy. And even from the front yard, you come back here and you can't just clearly see the pool very easily. So like I said, lots of thought. Back here, I think we did 3 or 4 dump trucks of soil. So all brand new grass, all brand new plants, where we were able to add the hydrangeas. Okay, so whenever we're in Florida, we like to do a couple different varieties here. We like to do them in the areas that they're not gonna be seen all the time. So you don't do something like this in the front yard, you do this something in the backyard, because these guys here are only gonna look good for 3 to 5 months max. But when they do look good and they grow to be this tall and they have flowers all over them, you gotta imagine all these views from the living room, kitchen are gonna catch these flowers. But when they don't look good, you can give them a haircut, trim them down, so they're not even noticeable from the inside. So really good thought here as well. Great design aspect. And then this beautiful view right here turned out amazing. The biggest thing that we did back here is what I said, we lifted everything up, but we actually had to tie the gutters in. So we had lots of actual drainage to get away from the home and around the pool, right? And the same thing, Clarkson's did an amazing job on this deck. They did such an amazing, they have this new seamless like deck drain system that they've been putting in for years now. You don't even know there's a deck drain there. We tie that in, get into a gutter. So here's a little glimpse. I don't know if we've ever done any showcases, is our sweeps. We do this a lot of times on homes so that you actually have a drainage system that will last you like a lifetime. So we use actual all hard pipe on this, sewer and drain pipe instead of the ADS bumpy stuff. They're very functional. So if we can disguise them and get them in there, great. And then the objective is just to get that water the heck out and around. But where we come in and we tie in with the guys like this is, like I said, doing the drainage, tying it in, and then how to kind of dress it up. Now, the homeowners here wanted to keep this a very clean look. We just did this grass ender at the bottom, right? So instead of just having the sod growing up to the actual foundation, because it's a pretty big step, right? We went ahead and put in some grasses back here, so that way they can grow up just to be about my hip height, a little over this, to give you that feel that, ooh, there's a step off this, right? There's about a 20-inch step that comes down this way. So we want to have that feel so when people are here, they know it's there. And also it just looks like it's part of the actual river that has moved into their property. And you won't even know there's actually a lawn back here that the kids can play in from that perspective inside. All right, guys, so I think that's gonna be pretty much a wrap on this one. I hope you enjoy what we did here. A little different, very different than what we normally do. And there may be not a lot of audience members out there that need something like this on their property, but I think it turned out amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you guys get to enjoy any of the projects we do in the future, and I'll see you on the next one.